A group of bikers see a girl about to jump from a bridge. Their leader gets off his Harley, walks through a group of gawkers, past the state trooper who was trying to talk her down off the railing and says, "Hey, baby, what you doing up there on that railing?" She says tearfully, "I'm going to commit suicide." While he didn't want to appear sensitive, he also didn't want to miss this be a legend opportunity either, so he asked, "Well, before you jump, honey babe, why don't you give me your last kiss?" So, with no hesitation at all, she leaned back over the railing and did just that. And it was a long, deep, lingering kiss, followed immediately by another even better one. After they breathlessly finished, the biker leader gets a big thumbs-up approval from his biker buddies, the onlookers, and even the state trooper, and then says, "Wow, that was the best kiss I have ever had. That's a real talent you're wasting there, Sugar Shorts. You could be famous if you rode with me. Why are you committing suicide?" "My parents don't like me dressing up like a girl." It's still unclear whether she jumped or was pushed. A man is about to jump off from a bridge. Just as he's about to take the final leap, a woman yells out at him in the distance. "Wait! Hold on!" He's startled, looks over. He sees a cute young woman running towards him, her face conveying deep emotion. She yells out, "Wait! Just hear me out!" He's touched. No one has ever expressed such care for him before, let alone someone as gorgeous as that. He takes a step back from the ledge. The woman reaches him and brings out a bag. Distinct meowing emanates from it. "Can you take this bag with kittens on your way down? I just can't bring myself to drown them." An engineer and an anti-vaxxer were walking through the woods when they came upon a bridge across a crocodile-infested river. The anti-vaxxer asked the engineer, "What are the odds of us making it across that bridge safely?" The engineer took out his calculator and his tape measure, did a structural analysis, and said, 99.97% chance we'll make it across that bridge safely." The anti-vaxxer responded without even thinking, "Forget that, I'm swimming." A man sits down next to a woman at the bar. He orders a beer and notices the TV above the bar showing the 5 o'clock news. The news is covering someone standing on the edge of a bridge, with the police trying to talk him down from jumping. The man at the bar looks to the woman next to him and says, "I bet you $10 he jumps." The woman looks at the man and says, "I'll take that bet." A few minutes go by, and the man ends up jumping off the bridge. So the woman says, "Well, you were right," and slides $10 to the man at the bar. He slides the money back and tells her, "I can't, in good conscience, take the money. They showed this on the 4 o'clock news earlier. I knew he was going to jump." The woman leaves the money on the bar and replies, "Well, I saw the 4 o'clock news too, but I didn't think he would jump twice." 3 old ladies playing a round of bridge. The first old lady says, "You know, I'm really starting to lose my memory these days. The other day, I went into the kitchen and forgot why I went." The second old lady shakes her head. "That's nothing. The other day, I went down the stairs and stopped halfway because I didn't know why I was going down." The third lady says nothing and keeps playing, and the other 2 look at her expectantly. She looks at them both and says, "What?" "Don't look at me. My memory is as solid as this table." She then knocks on the table, looks at the door and says, "Hello? Who's there?" A man is walking along the beach when he accidentally kicks a bottle. The bottle opens and a genie appears. "Thank you for freeing me," the genie exclaims. "I've been waiting 2,000 years for this moment. I am a genie and will grant you 1 wish." The man doubtfully looks the genie up and down and says, "Prove to me that you're a genie." So the genie snaps his fingers and 500 pounds of gold appear in front of him. The man blinks and says, "All right. Well, I really don't know what I want." "Well, sure you do," the genie says, eagerly awaiting his response. "Well, I have a great wife and beautiful kids. I've retired and have more than enough money to live on. I've experienced all I've wanted to experience, and I've traveled the world." The man scratches his chin for a bit in thought before continuing. "Well, I have always wanted Europe and the United States to be more connected." "So how do you wish for me to do that?" the genie asks. "Well, I would like there to be a bridge between Europe and the United States so that people can easily travel between them." The genie is now a little concerned. "That seems to be a large task. Is there anything you can think of that would be a little easier?" The man thinks for a moment and responds, "Well, I love my wife, but I've always had a difficult time understanding her. I would like to understand women." The genie ponders for a second until he says, "All right, how many lanes do you want on that bridge?" It was just another typical day in class, and the teacher was in the middle of a lesson about animals. She decided to quiz the students and turned to Johnny. "All right, Johnny," the teacher said, smiling. "Let's see if you've been paying attention today. Can you tell the class why a cow wags its tail?" Johnny stood up and said, "Well, according to the principles of science. The tail doesn't have the power to move the cow. A guy's mother-in-law comes to live with him. One day he comes home to find her passed out on the floor. He calls 911, and the paramedics come and pick her up and take her to the hospital. The guy goes to the hospital and is in the waiting room when the doctor comes out. The doctor says, "Well, I have some good news and some bad news." The guy says, "All right, give me the bad news first." The doctor says, "Your mother-in-law is not going to die. She had a massive stroke, but she is probably going to live another 20 to 30 years. The problem is the stroke has rendered her unable to speak. She just makes this horrible screeching noise like a parrot now. It has also disabled her ability to use her arms. For the next 20 to 30 years, you are going to have to feed her baby food 3 times a day. Also, it's mad her incontinent, so you're going to have to change her diapers and clean her up every single day for the next 20 to 30 years. Oh my God, the guy said. What's the good news? The doctor chuckles and goes, I'm just kidding with you, she died. 2 girls were showering together at the gym, chatting away when one of them noticed something and asked with surprise, Hey, how come you don't have any hair down there? The other girl burst out laughing and replied, Oh, you silly. Haven't you heard? Where there's heavy traffic, nothing has time to grow. Man and his wife and his mother-in-law went on vacation to the Holy Land. While they were there, the mother-in-law passed away. The undertaker told them you can have her shipped home for $5,000, or you can bury her here in the Holy Land for $150. The man thought about it and told him he'd just have her shipped home. The undertaker asked, Why would you spend $5,000 to ship your mother-in-law home when it would be wonderful to have her buried here and spend only $150? The man replied, A man died here 2,000 years ago. He was buried here. 3 days later, he rose from the dead. I just can't take that chance.